welcome back to my channel, and welcome to day 19 of Christy's from Christy's Beautiful Life, her 30 Days of Sketches Series 5. And today's lovely sketch comes to us from the Hip Kit Club, and it's a sketch by Vicki Parker. And it's a lovely sketch. It's a great and fantastic way to be using up scraps. And that's been quite a lot of fun throughout this series, as there has been quite a few sketches that I find, I don't know whether Christy did this on purpose, but we've had a sketch, we use a lovely collection or bits, and that leaves us with quite a few scraps, and whoops, the next day we have a lovely sketch just made perfectly for scraps. And that is what today's sketch is. And just before I show you my take on it, which you're going to see is one of my fun mixed media stenciling kind of things, I just want to do a little shout out to one of the lovely ladies over in the Mercy Tiara group, and one of my friends, Marta, who has been participating a lot in the 30 Days of Sketches series. And she posts on Instagram, and she has the most lovely creations, and like many of us, she's in quarantine, she's working from home. So she's been able to do a little bit more creating, I guess, than usual, and she's been doing a lot of gorgeous interpretations of these sketches. So I'm going to put Marta's Instagram down below, just in case you don't know her. Please go on over there and see what she's been up to, because she's sort of been an unbeknownst to us guest throughout this series. So, and the reason it reminds me to talk about Marta today is, there you go. I think, Marta, this is kind of a layout for you, with you in mind. And I have to say, I love this one. I'm in love with this layout. Well, I'm in love with my little kitty, of course, and I love making layouts about him, and I just love this. So I did, oh, my little What a Storm here is having a little bit of trouble. Let's get that back down to where it belongs. So I made this layout an 8.5 by 11 because I felt it actually looked perfect. Now, I don't know if it was an 8.5 by 11 because it sort of looks as though it might have been. I stayed fairly true to it. I think I maybe did a little bit more mixed media on the background than was originally here, because it looks to me like there was just maybe a little bit of packaging right here in the middle. I went all out, and then as opposed to doing the sort of little cluster over here, my page sort of goes all out to almost the entire width of the page. My title is a little bit higher, and my embellishments are slightly different, but I think you can definitely see the sketch, and I had a lot of fun. So the first thing that I did is take a piece of white cardstock, which I cut down just a little bit so that I could frame it, of course, as is my pattern, and I put it on this lovely, My Mind's Eye gingham farm, which was left from my How to Kill a Kit with Style from March. And in this one, you will recognize that I used my How to Kill a Kit with Style from April. And so the first thing I did was just do some packaging on the background with this coloring. Is Oh Say Can You See? It's one of my favorite colors. So I put it down in the background, and then I did just sort of a little bit, leaving a little bit of droplets so that I would get almost a little bit of a darker color in areas. You see here you have the paler and the darker. I hope I'm doing that right. I always say that, and usually it turns out pretty good. I don't know. Then I got this fun Paige Evans stencil out. You've seen it fairly frequently. I love it. I don't know if it's bubbles or circles, but it's just fun. It's just a fun one, and I got that out with my Vicki Boutin iridescent glaze, which is almost empty. I don't have much left in that, do I? Spending Free still has a few months, though. So we'll see what we have to do with that. So then I used the stencil, and I brought the stencil out beyond the misting and the smushing on the background. So I extended it out a little bit, And I left a little area without where I could do sort of my title. And I guess this is sort of a combination of title and journaling with these little word stickers, which I found were just perfect for this. This is just my little shop paint, just an everyday moment. I was probably on the chair next to him because if he's not in my lap, he's generally on a chair next to me, having a lovely little nap while I was probably watching YouTube, which is what I do when I relax. And it was just sort of a couple of weeks ago or so that we did this. So it's just so nice to sit and have a normal sort of calming little view with all these crazies that we're going through. So this will go into my COVID album, and that's really what I want to record. So don't forget, focus on the good, our little moments. So here's the story. Calm within the storm. So just watching him sleep and listening to him purr melts away the stress in these crazy times. April 2020. And that's it. It's just this fun everyday moment. So in the back, I did my strips of paper that I put, different widths, different lengths, overlapping, some under, some over, and I just came all the way down with some scraps. The Cocoa Vanilla Unforgettable. This is a piece of Stampin' Up! That I had on my desk. Cocoa Vanilla Unforgettable. The Vicky Bouton. This was from the Cocoa Vanilla Midnight, so I just put some little strips all the way down. Got some of the lovely florals from the Cocoa Vanilla collection as well, because they just fit with my colors, and I just love the little pop. And these are mounted up on foam. And then I just went in. So here you go, Colleen. So now you see, if you look at this layout, now I've used sequins here, but I could have used, so sequins or enamel dots or Nouveau drops are my finishing touches. And Colleen was asking me how I decided to place them and where I decided. Generally, the first thing that I will do is firstly choose 3 colors and often 3 sizes, whether that be sequins, enamel dots, or Nouveau drops. And so in this case, I went with this lovely sort of minty aqua, a hot pink, and a black or a lighter pink here in this little cluster. And then I will go into my layout and I will look for what I call my sort of nooks and crannies, things that could be filled. So you see here on this side, you have this little dip here, this little caveat that goes down here. So that to me is a perfect little area to add a little cluster of sequins. Then over here, you see I have all of these staggered edges here, and this one in particular was a little bit of a bigger stagger, so that gives me another perfect little spot. And here I went and I added a couple of those little florals as well. I always work in odd numbers, so 3, 5, another little hole here that was just white, and that could be filled in, as well as here. So you see, that's sort of what I do. I just look for little areas that sort of are, I call them nooks and crannies. I don't quite know what else to call them. A little bit of white space. You see here the same little thing as the floral down here. And I probably put this one, this one, this one, and this one down. And then in my mind, I went, oh, that's 4. I need a 5th. That's me. I tend to need and like odd numbers. I'm pretty sure that if I had just done 4 clusters, there is not a cluster or an odd number police out there that would say, oh, no. But to my eye, odd numbers are a lot more pleasing. So there you go, Colleen. I hope that answered your question a little bit. And I will maybe try on one of the videos upcoming to leave that part and do it with you on screen. Just the teensiest bit of getting a little bit brave here, of doing just the teensiest bit of maybe live process. Teensiest bit. Thank you for being here. As always, I love your comments. Thank you for your support. Thank you and welcome to all my new subbies. And a big, huge thank you and hug to all my subbies that have been here for so long supporting me. And we'll be back tomorrow for day 20. which is a little bit of a special day. See you tomorrow. Bye.